This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so far, if you remember, okay, while modeling requirements, we thought we had two types of different diagrams. Okay, where with using BPM we can model a business process model with the help of as is and to be processes, right or wrong? And when it comes to to be process, we are going to draw this UML diagram such as use cases, activities, and sequence, right?
Yep.
So when it comes to the UML diagrams, already so far we have done with the use case diagrams where it is just representing the end user expectation. So far, what exactly the end user is going to perform with the system, that is what we depicted, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now it's time. Already user is interacting with the system. Even system should respond back, right or wrong? If let's
Correct.
say if you are interacting with the system, you are giving and what we can say username and password in the system should validate now, and the system should give authentication. Then only you'll be able to access the system. Otherwise, you can't access the system, right or wrong? So according to the user interactions, the system should respond back. Those interactions that we can capture with using activity diagrams. See, activity diagrams, how the system is responding according to the user expectations or interactions is nothing but activity diagrams. Is that clear? Yes. Okay. Now this week I want you to work on these activity diagrams. Very, very important. Activity diagrams need to be completed along with the pending process flows and use cases. Okay. Am I clear?
Yes.
And now when it comes to activity diagram, see here I prepared notes for you because most of the times I'm not giving notes. That's the reason I started preparing notes from going forward. Okay. See the activity
Thanks.
diagram say the same thing that I wrote it here, how system responds according to the end user interactions or instructions. Okay. And it gives utmost importance to the system functionality rather than manual functionality, right or wrong? If it is including manual functionality, then it will be a process flow, not activity diagram, right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this activity or system flows, either we call this as call this activity as system flows as well. A couple of people will call you, please draw a system flow. System flow is nothing but the software flow, right? Software flow is nothing but activity diagram for us, right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay, that's the reason either we call it as system flow or activity diagrams, and it gives utmost importance to the system functionality rather than manual functionalities, right? Is that clear so far? Yes. And
Yes,
when
sir.
it comes to the tool, hello. Hello. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Is that clear so far, or any questions here? Yes, it is clear, sir. Yeah. See here, when we open activity diagrams, let us go with the tool. Okay. Hope you are aware. Initially, we should go
Yes.
with software and database. Then we will go with UML model diagrams, right? And once
Yes.
you open this activity diagram here, these are the components I explained here in the document. Okay. What sort of components we are using? What sort of components we are using? You see, the first one is action state, right or wrong? The first one is action state. Action state is nothing but, okay, it is representing all the activities performed by the system, and it is same as process flow rectangle. Do you remember process flow rectangle? There we discussed, right? Yes. Okay, in the similar way, this action state is going to represent all the activities performed by the system. Okay, it is same as the process flow. Okay, process flow rectangle. Am I clear?
Yes, yep.
Okay, simply drag and drop, and you can write whatever the action is performed. Okay, those actions we can write it under this action states. Simple. Okay, in this way. Simply double click on it. Okay, and let's say it is validating credentials. For example, I'm telling. Okay, in this way we can write it. Okay, and the second one, if you see the state, which is very, very important thing. Okay, here in Visio we have the second component called state. Possibly for seeing both are same, if I'm not wrong, right? Look wise both are same. Okay, but action state is nothing but action state is going to perform some action in the next level. After this, some action is going to be performed. That is what action is nothing but in the next level it is going to perform something, but state is nothing. Okay, the state is nothing but abnormal terminations, or what we can say temporary stops, those things that we can represent with using states. You understood? Yes, see, state is nothing but it represents temporary ends, temporarily end, or temporary free state, or abnormal terminations. For example, if you take ATM case, okay, and when you are taking ATM case, when you start entering pins, okay, wrong pins for 3 times, okay, it is keep on getting you towards alternative flows, right or wrong?
Yes.
Okay, where you are keeping a condition there, where you are simply keep on getting the loop. Okay, please enter valid pin, please enter valid pin, please enter valid pin. But after 3 attempts, what will happen?
It will
It will block.
It will block the card. It is not a normal stop, right or wrong? Normal stop is nothing but
Yeah.
either you can withdraw cash or you can take the mini statement, or you can transfer funds, right or wrong? That is a normal flow, and once the transaction is completed, you can end the process, right or wrong? That is a normal
Correct.
stop. But here, when you are entering 3 wrong pins, then system will abnormally terminate it, right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes, it should be.
Okay, those sort of abnormal terminations we can represent with using states. Am I clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And even if you take banking accounts, for example, if you are not using a bank account for 6 months, what will happen? You know,
Freeze or
it will be under, yeah, it will be under freeze or hold state. It has not been deactivated. Account will not be deactivated. It is temporary on hold or freeze state. Okay, again, if you do one transaction, again your account will be activated. You know, so those
Yes.
sort of things that we can represent with the help of these states. Am I clear?
Yeah.
So whenever you are putting some states, okay, so there is an abnormal termination. If you remember in our workbook, circular and cross symbol, you remember that cross circle in our workbook we discussed in the workshop we discussed cross circle is nothing but temporary end. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, those things is nothing but states here. Here we don't have a cross symbol circle. Okay, here in this panel, that's the reason we are using states as temporary stops or abnormal terminations. Am I clear?
Fine, sir. Yeah.
Okay, and even example I gave you the same. When we enter wrong pin while using an ATM card, okay, then the system will terminate the process. Okay, wrong pin, okay, enter wrong pin for 3 times, possibly wrong pin for 3 times. Okay, then only it will get into the alternative, you can say abnormal termination, right? Okay, so
Correct.
when we enter wrong pin for 3 times while using an ATM card, then the system will terminate the process and the card will be blocked for 24 hours. This kind of situation we can use states. Okay, even for your understanding, I kept one example as well. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next one is start and stop. You are aware, initial states and final state. The start state we can
Yes,
represent
sir.
with using initial state, and even
Yeah.
the final state we can the stop node we can represent with using final states. No need to explain these two things. That's the reason. Okay, I skipped that. Okay, and I kept
Fine.
it
Yeah.
on the bottom. Last I kept it, if I'm not wrong. Here, start and stop. Okay, and the next one is fork and joins, which is very important thing to discuss. Okay,
Yes.
this fork and joins. See, can you identify which one is fork, which one is join here by seeing this?
One to many is
Possibly
fork.
both are same.
3 to 1 is joint.
So how you can identify that which one is fork and which one is join here?
Because we have one connection above and 3 in the below. That's fork actually. One to many.
Good, very good. Okay, so one cross symbol. See, if you see this, one cross symbol is converting into 2 or more. The 3 represents 2 or more activities. It's not like only 3. Okay, 2 or more activities. Even you can connect 10 activities as well. Okay, one activity may convert into 2 or more activities, is nothing but fork. And 2 or more activities, see, 3 cross symbols are converting into 1 cross symbol, right or wrong? The second case.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 2 or more activities are converted into single activity, right?
Join.
So this is fork and this is join, and here there is a slight difference between fork and join and branch and merge, if you remember. Okay, fork and join we will use to represent end. See here, I draw the both diagrams. Okay, the fork and join is this and branch and merge is this. Did you feel any difference between these two?
Symbol.
What exactly the difference between these two? Both are same, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, but the symbols are different.
Yes, symbols are different and symbols are representing the conditions. See, if you take
Yes.
fork and join, okay, when we will use this to represent end and parallel activities, like all activities at a time. For example, even I mentioned one example here for your understanding, fork and join. Fork and join is always representing end conditions. Do remember, fork and join is always representing end conditions between action states, right? And when we take the below example, here I mentioned it from action state 4, this from action state 4 to reach action state 5, okay, this action state 2 and action state 3 should perform, right or wrong?
At a time.
Okay, at a time these two should perform, and at a time, okay, and at a time. You understood? For example, here you are there in action state 4, now you have to reach action state 5. For example, I'm telling, to reach action state 5, 2 and 3 both should perform, and at a time those both should perform. That is fork and join. But when it comes to branch and merge, any of the action can perform anytime. Simple.
Oh,
That is all. Okay. See, branch and merges, we will use this to represent our activities, like any activity, anytime.
So it's like username and password. It's like card and cash, something we can say.
Yes, branch and merge, cash, card, all these payments we have it. No, there you can use. Yes, there you can use branch and merge. Either you can go with card option, or you can go with cash option, or you can go with some wallet option. Anything you can go with. Okay, and anytime you can go with, right or wrong? Anytime and any action, right or wrong?
Yeah.
yep.
Am I clear? But when it
Yes,
comes to fork and join, if you remember, when we are going for retail store, okay, for example, when we are going for supermarkets, okay, they are generating bill. While they are generating bill, the update, the inventory should be updated. For example, you bought 10 soaps, okay, from DMart, okay. Now you went to the billing counter, and the billing counter guy will build everything. And once he collected the payment, he'll update the bill payment, right? Bill payment is received. Once the bill payment is received, at a time, even inventory in the back end should be updated, right or wrong? Both actions should perform at a time.
Yes.
Okay, because this 10 soap should not be there in the inventory because some customer bought it, right or wrong? So at the time
Exactly.
of bill generation, at the real time, you need to update the inventory in the back end. These two things should perform at a time. There we can use fork and joins. In such scenarios, we can use fork and joins. Am I clear?
Yes,
Got it, sir. Yeah.
Siddiq, you're clear on this?
Yes, it is exactly clear. It's like in short, it's like if you have some mandatories, there is no options. We have to go with two options,
Fork and
and
join.
they are to complete the task. Then we use fork and join. And if you have any one to choose among or two
That was
multiple,
good, but there is a small gap there. Mandatory and all actions should perform at a time. For example, if you take registration page, okay, possibly you are thinking all the registration, couple of registration fields are mandatory, couple of registration fields are not mandatory. That is what you are saying, right? Mandatory fields that you are going to keep it in fork and join, right or wrong? That is what your point, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
there,
but-
all the actions, whether they are performing at a time or not, you need to check. All the actions are not performing at a time. They are right or wrong?
Yeah. Yes.
One by one, you are entering. Either mandatory or optional, one by one, you are entering, right or wrong? There, you should not use fork and joins.
You mean
Got the
two
point?
things have to parallelly work together? That's the fork and join.
Exactly. Together and at a time. Do remember, there's the reason I mentioned this. Where is this? Fork and join. All activities and at a time. Do remember this. This point is very, very important. At a time, that should perform. Can you enter all the fields at a time?
No, sir.
Which is not possible, right? Then it is not a fork and join. Simple.
So can I give an example of fork and join? Like when I give 5,000 rupees to Furhan, it will in his account table. In
Exactly. When you transfer it, the account, the amount will be deducted from your account at the same time, right or wrong? Transfer and amount deduction both should happen at a time from your account, right or wrong? That is a fork and join. For example, you said the same example I'm telling. Now I'm going to transfer 10,000 to my friend account. Okay, I initiated the transaction. When the transaction has been initiated, if it is RTGS, real-time transfer, at a time my amount got deducted and amount will be transferred or amount will be updated in my account, right or wrong? Both the actions should be performed at a time. Then we can represent that actions with using fork and join. Am I clear?
Yes.
Now you understood what is fork and join and branch and merge?
Yes.
Please make sure when you are keeping fork and joins, just see this keyword, all activities and at a time. At a time is very, very important. Here, any activity, anytime. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Rahman, you are clear on this?
Yes, sir. I'm fine.
Even branch and merge, I gave you the same example. Branch and merge is always representing the OR conditions between the action states. When we take the above figure example to reach action state 4, see, to reach action state 4 to 5, okay, either action state 2 or action state 3 can perform, right or wrong? Action state 2 or action state 3, any activity may perform at any time, right or wrong?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That is branch and merge. Okay, clear so far?
Like, can I say like username or mobile number in some options you will have for if you want to log in, enter your username, Gmail ID, or you can even use your mobile phone. Can it be come under branch and merge or?
Of course, yes, branch and merge. Either you can go with that option or you can go with this option. Yes. Okay, when you have multiple options in front of you are available and you can choose any of option, any one option or combination of two, three options. For example, now let me take this is cash option, this is card option. Okay, couple of people will go with cash option, action state 2, right? And a couple of people will go with card option, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, and even couple of people can go with both. Couple of patients will tell you I want to pay some cash and I want to pay some card. Both the
Yeah, I
actions
did.
also can be performed, right or wrong?
And they will
So
even
anything can be performed.
in the bill if you do two transactions.
Right, right.
So-
That should be reflecting in your bill as well. Yes.
I have experience, sir, in Yashoda. In blood bank, they have an application, so they took my phone number and everything, family details like who am I, and I gave by cash by hand 1,000 and I paid by card 2,000. So they
That is
in the
a generic thing.
yeah.
Right. Even there is a generic thing. That's the reason that there we have to use branch and merge, because you need to have an option. Either you can choose cash or card or both as per your requirement. Okay. Am I clear?
Yes, sir, you are exactly.
And after branch and merge, okay, see here in the tool, branch and merge is nothing but this decision boxes. The same decision box we can use it as branch and merge or decision boxes. Okay, the same decision box we can use it as branch and merge or decision boxes. Am I clear?
Yes.
I'll show you how to convert the same decision the same box as a decision box. Okay, branch and merge is the same diagram I drawn here, right?
Yeah.
If you see the same rhombus I draw here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and now when it comes to some notes are available here for fork and joins and branch and merge, which is very important. See, when we open a fork, for example, on the above context, when we open a fork, okay, when we open a fork, okay, there we need to close that fork at any cost. See, when we open a fork in any context in any activity diagram, that we must close it with using join. Am I clear?
Join.
No.
Like,
see here I opened fork, okay, immediately, because these two actions should perform at a time, so immediately I need to close with join, right or wrong?
you have to come up with one final state for that.
Exactly, join. Okay, but when
Right.
it comes to branch and merge, it is not required. When we open branch in any context, okay, in activity diagram, then it is not mandatory to close the merge. Then it is not mandatory to close that branch with using merge here. For example, here if you didn't keep this, still this is a branch and merge. Am I clear? You need not to close this. Okay, this is not the mandatory option, but when you open fork, you have to close it. Okay, with using final state. But when you open branch, you don't need to close with a merge. This is an optional thing. Am I clear?
I didn't get it, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, see, for example, here I'm taking multiple options. For example, cash transaction is one option and card transaction is one option. Okay, these two can't be merged at a time, right? After this particular state, this can't be merged, because cash transactions we may have multiple sequence of actions after it, right? And again, card, again multiple sequence of actions. So no need to close that branch. When you open, no need to close that branch with merge like this one. Okay, but when you open a fork, ultimately these two should perform at a time you are representing, right? So these two should close with using fork and you should take a next action step. That is mandatory. Am I clear now?
Yes, sir. I understood.
Okay, when you have different flows, for example, that's the reason I took cash flow. Here, one is cash flow, one is card flow. Cash transactions will have multiple sequence of steps after that, right or wrong? When you are
Yeah.
taking cash, you need to enter denominations. Again, you need to return the change, and again, after returning the change, you need to submit the bill and generate the transaction ID. These sequence of actions will come here after this action statement, right or wrong?
Yes.
And again, after when you are choosing card, again sequence of actions will come here. So you may not close this with using branch. I'm sorry, join. Okay,
Yeah.
this one merge. Okay, but when it comes to fork and join, when you open fork and join for a specific 2 or 3 action states, ultimately you need to close with the final state, the next state, not final state, the next state.
Yeah, I
Is that clear?
understood. Yeah, what I understood, like branch and merge, those two will split and they will work in a different way. So we cannot even join them.
There might be a chance. There might be a chance, right?
Yeah, but fork and join, they both have the same vision and mission. Ultimately, they're gonna meet at one point because
Right,
they are
right point.
for one purpose.
They have to execute all the process.
All the process, and it should, if all the processes are executed, then only it will go to the next level, otherwise it will not, right? So ultimately
Yes.
you should close it. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the next one is control flows. Okay, and see here couple of elements I'm not explaining you. This object flow and object in state, we are not using it, even that I mentioned here. See, object flow and object in state, we are not using this in activity diagrams context. These are used in class diagrams or sequence diagrams. Later on we will see this. Okay, this is not that important, where we are not using in activity diagrams. Don't need to bother about it. Okay, and this
Got it.
control flow is nothing but the association between action state to action state. Okay, the connectors.
As we used in the use case.
Exactly, same as used in the use cases. That is what I mentioned it here, if you see. Okay, control flow makes association between action states and other components. Okay.
Okay.
See, like this. If I take one more action state, okay, between these action states, I need to mention this control flows to associate it, right? Okay,
Yeah.
there we are using control flows. Okay, and the next one is swim lanes. Possibly you are aware of swim lanes. Swim lanes are nothing but functional bands, cross functional bands. Already we have seen, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In the process flows, right? You remember?
Yeah.
Okay, same as the process flows cross functional. Here we
Some
have
boundary.
yes, some boundaries. Okay, what we say, this we call it as swim lanes. Again, why we are representing the swim lanes, you know, these swim lanes are helpful to us to differentiate individual actor actions. For example, if I'm taking
Okay.
receptionist here, same as cross functional flows, if I'm taking receptionist
Exactly.
here, all the receptionist activities I can represent with using this particular flow. And if I take next swim lane as
Patient.
some OP billing, patient or OP billing, whatever. Okay.
Got it.
This is not working again, that will be a big problem for us. Like this. Okay, again here you can mention OP billing or patient or whatever. Okay, to differentiate individual source activities again. Okay,
Yeah.
we are using this swim lanes same as cross functional bands which we are using in the process flows. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next one, see, swim lanes already explained here, couple of small description to represent individual resource activities, right? Individual resource activities like patient and receptionist, right? Okay, activities we are using these swim lanes, and these are not mandatory to draw in an activity diagram. Do remember? Okay, without swim lanes as well, where we have basic flowcharts there. Do you remember? Without cross-functional bands, we have basic flowcharts there. In the similar way, we have basic activity diagrams as well here. Okay, so we can use swim lanes, or we can, without swim lanes as well, you can draw activity diagrams. It is only for your understanding, for better understanding. Okay,
Yeah.
and we can use maximum of 6 to 8 swim lanes only in an active diagram. Do remember that. That is an interview question. Okay.
Limitation.
We can use maximum of 6 to 8 swim lanes in a single activity diagram. If any activity diagram has more than 6 to 8 swim lanes, what we need to do? Then we should decompose that into multiple activities. Right?
We'll split them. Yeah.
We'll split them, exactly. Because the point is, when you have more complexity involved in a particular module, you have to decompose that into sub-modules, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, in the similar way, when you have more than 6 to 8 resources are involved in one particular process, ultimately you should decompose it. Okay, and you have to make it a 2 or 3 different activity diagrams. Simple. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it is always preferred. See, I mentioned this point as well. It is always preferred to draw the swimline based diagrams for better understanding on the system flows. Am I clear?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
best practice.
Best practice. That is the best practice. Okay. These two things I explained already. To represent start nodes in an activity, we will
Yes, sir.
use the start nodes, and to represent the end nodes, okay, or final states. End nodes or final states. In an activity, we will use this stop condition. Okay, stop node. Am I clear? And coming to the decision box, which is very, very important thing when you are going to represent some conditions like if else conditions, okay, in an activity diagram. Okay, we are using the same decision box, the same connector as decision box. That is what I told you, right?
Yeah.
Let me zoom this. Okay. For example, let us take an action state here, and let me take control flow in this way, right? And now I want to represent two different conditions. One is if condition, one is and else condition, for example. Okay, two different conditions are available here. Okay, now to represent these two conditions, okay, first of all we need to take control flows, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, in this way. Now to insert condition between this, generally if you remember in process flow diagrams or in generally simply double click on it and we can write the condition between these boxes, right? In between the boxes we used to write the conditions generally in a flow chart, right?
Yes.
But here we are unable to insert the condition in between the boxes. See, here you are unable to insert the condition in between the boxes, and even you can't resize it. See, can you resize it? Even we are unable to resize it. So with the help of control flows, we can keep the condition. Okay, with the help of control flow is nothing but arrows, right? When you want to keep a condition, I'm sorry.
We can double click and write the data inside.
Exactly. Simply double click on it. Okay. Straight away you can't write the condition here on the name. You should apply the guard condition. Did you remember the guard condition that we discussed in workshop? No? Okay, here we need to click on guard conditions. We need to apply guard conditions and select language as text. Select language as text. Then you can write your code. If X is less than 10,000, for example.
We remember, sir.
Okay, and what is the else condition for this? Again, double click on the control flow. Again, we should click on guard condition. Select language as text, and then you can write your code. Else X is greater than or equals to, right? Equals to 10,000.
Yeah.
In this way, you can represent the conditions. Am I clear now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
Okay. In this way, you can represent the conditions. Okay, because you are unable to resize the decision boxes and you are unable to insert the condition in between these decision boxes. To remember.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's the reason, sir? Did you do it like this?
This is the limitation of tool. We can't do anything.
Okay.
This is the limitation of this Visio. Okay. Am I clear?
Yeah.
This is tool limitation. We can't do anything. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Even that also I mentioned it here. Decision boxes. See, we will use this to represent the if else conditions or other condition making in activity diagrams. Am I clear? And here we should use control flows and guard conditions to add the conditional text, because we are unable to resize the decision box and unable to add the condition in between the boxes. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
is that clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and finally the same decision box we can use this as connector as well. See, connector is nothing but to represent multiple flows and to satisfy the below thumb rule. There is a thumb rule in an activity where one activity should have only one in, one out. For example, here if you take a scenario, okay, here it is having only one in, okay, and one out, like this. This is one out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say you take what we can say multiple inputs. For example, this activity will be connected, will be getting multiple inputs here. Okay, for example, let me take two more activities here, one and one more activity. These two are also going to merge here with using action state. At that moment, straight away, you should not take a control flow and connect this action state, where you have to take a connector here. Have to take a connector here, okay, and you have to connect these two things here to the connector. You understood the point?
Yes, sir. Action
Okay,
state
here.
cannot come directly. We need a connector in between them.
Exactly. Okay, and then you have to take one in. Now it is only one in, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, when we have multiple action states are being connected to one particular activity, we should not straight away connect it because there is a thumb rule. Okay, the thumb rule I mentioned it here. Okay, one activity should have only one in and one out. Okay,
Yeah.
to represent one in, one out, you are going to take the safe decision box as connector, where you take multiple flows. Here you connect it, and you can take a one in and one out. Simple. Okay, to represent that particular thumb rule, we are using connectors. That is what I mentioned it here. To represent multiple flows, okay, and to satisfy the below thumb rule, we are using connectors. Am I clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and now I'll take this snapshot and I'll add it here. Okay, now hope you understood how to draw this activity diagram, right? With the help of these components. These components we are using there in the what we can say UML activity. What is the first one? Action state, state, initial state, final state, forks, joins, control flows, decision boxes, streamlines. Right? These are the components we are using under activity. The rest of the components we are not using it. No need to bother about it. Okay?
Yeah.
Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The rest of the components you don't need to bother about. We are using only action states, initial and final states, fork and joins, decision box, branch and merge, connector, again control flow and swim lanes. These are the components we are using under activity diagrams. With the help of these components, I want you to draw the activity diagrams now. Am I clear?
Sir.
Sure.
Okay. Now let me give you a basic idea how to create this activity diagrams. Okay. Already you created most of the flows with the help of your specifications itself. I don't need much explanation here if I'm not wrong. Okay, already you have basic flows, everything in your use case specifications, right or wrong?
Yes.
So the same basic flows and alternative flows you have to depict here with using activity, simple, right?
Yeah.
Both of you are getting my point. Is that difficult
Yes,
to
sir.
draw? See here you mentioned sequence of steps. These sequence of steps only you have to draw it under activity diagram, simple.
Basic flow event.
Right, basic flow events. Okay, if you have any conditions there, you can take a decision box and you can display the alternative flows as well. Just now I shown you how to mention the decision boxes, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyways, I'll give you some samples. I'll upload some sample documents here under activity diagrams, especially for doctor or receptionist. I'll update it here, some sample activity diagrams. Please refer the same and start working on the activity diagrams. Okay.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you please show us one module, please? For
You want to
activity?
show one module?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, definitely. If that is the case, let me take let us take login only if that is the case. Login is a particular use case, right, for us. For each and every use case, I want different activity diagrams, possibly understood, same as process flows. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I need to take receptionist. Let's say, let me draw receptionist login. Okay. This is receptionist. And here I'll take one more streamline, that is OP billing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The to be system. OP billing system. Right?
Yeah.
Did you prepare any sequence of actions for login? I'm sorry, use case specification for login? No, right? So far?
No. No.
Okay, let me write it. Okay, let me draw it here because you didn't do that, no? So initially we need to take initial state. You are aware, right? Initial
Yeah.
state we need to take it. Okay, and then the first action state you need to reception you need to start it, right? What is the first action state? Click on login functionality, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, once you click on login functionality, what will happen?
It will
System
prompt
should
ask for
display.
the-
System should
Yeah,
prompt
login.
that login functionality, right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes.
Prompt login details to enter. Okay, prompt login details to enter the details, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, now this guy need to enter the username. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Username and password.
username. Both the things you should not write in single activity. Username. Okay, and you need to enter password as well. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah, but we need connector in between, right?
Connector is nothing but control flow. I'll write a control flow. Don't worry. Okay, initially let me draw the complete diagram, then I'll add this control flows. Don't worry. Okay, user. I'm sorry. Enter password. Siddiq, you're clear on this? Connector is nothing but the arrow you're talking about, or the decision box you're talking about.
Decision box, I think is.
I was decision
Why
box,
decision
but I
box
have,
is required? Why decision
and,
box? You are keeping.
no, I'm wrong, sir. But what I will ask you now is, can we connect directly one foreground joint after click on login function, because we have two things
No.
which is mandatory. We
Which
cannot.
is mandatory, but you are not entering both the things at a time. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Username and
Sequence.
password you are entering at a time.
No, we will have sequence, username and then password.
First you are entering username, then you are going for password, right or wrong?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the reason I'm not keeping fork and join there. Possibly understood, right?
Understood now.
And now click on submit. Or
Submit. Yeah.
Okay, once you are submitted, what will happen?
It will based on our credential. It will, if it is correct, it will log in. If it is not, it
Validate
will not.
credentials.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Yes.
It will validate the credentials. OP billing system will validate your credentials, whether credentials are correct or wrong. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the decision box you need to take it. Right?
Yes. If or if not.
Exactly. Okay. If it is valid, what will happen?
It's successful login
Redirect
to the home page.
to home page.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he is able to see the home page. Successfully log into the home page. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, now let us put it the control flows for our understanding. Without control flows, we may not understand the flow. Initially, I'm entering the login. I'm clicking on login functionality, possibly understood, right? Once I once I click on that particular functionality, then only system will prompt me with the details required to fill it, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. And once details are being shown by the system, what you need to do? You need to fill in the details.
Sir, can we have this type of two connection for prompt login details to enter?
Which one?
For prompt login details, we got two control flows, right?
I didn't understand. Why two control flows are required here?
No, sir. The prompt login details to enter this action state having two control flows, right? No.
No, only one in, one out. See, one in, one out. One is in, one is out. I told
We
only
can.
one in, one out.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, if it is more than two ins or two outs, then only we can keep connectors. So remember, here I'm taking only one in and one out. That's it.
It's
Right?
normal flow. Yeah.
Normal flow. Right?
Yeah.
And after entering password, you need to submit. Right?
Yes.
Then once you submitted, what will happen? It will validate the details. System will validate the details. Right?
Yes.
And while validating the details, it might be true or it might be false. Either may be chances, right? One is valid
Yes.
condition, one is invalid condition. I wrote valid condition here, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, but when we gonna
Okay.
make, we have to make both, right?
Yes, of course we need to write it. Okay, initially we'll write valid condition. Click on guard condition and text. Select language as text, right?
Yes.
And
If
credentials are valid, right or wrong?
yeah.
If it is valid, it will go to the redirect to the home page, and then even a receptionist can successfully log into the home page.
System.
Finally, it is stopped.
Same as cross flow chart then.
But that was manual. It is for portal.
Yes, that is manual. Here it is only depending on the portal, if you remember, right?
Yeah,
If you see
yeah.
everything which is system is performing, I'm writing down here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And now invalid case. Can you tell me the invalid case here?
Like again, we will take one line here. If
Double click.
credentials are not valid,
Right. First of all, you need to apply guard condition, right?
Home page.
Select language text, and what is that? Credentials are not valid.
Back to home
Then
page.
where you want to redirect?
redirect to the click on login function again.
This one, I mean to say.
Yeah.
But now it is two inputs. If you see, this is one input, this is one more input. Now what we need to do? We need to take a connector, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we need to connect this to the connector, right or wrong?
Yes. Yes.
And even you also connect this to the connector. Right?
Sir, we can only connect 4 connection to one connector.
Yes, of course. Not only 4. Even you can connect a 10 as well to one connector.
Okay.
Like this, right? You understood now?
Yes, sir. Now I
Yes.
understood.
This activity is nothing but this activity is for login credentials, right?
Yeah.
You understood how to
Sir,
draw
for-
use activity diagram now?
Process flow, one control flow is enough. So is there any, like we have to mention if it's gonna get blocked after 2-3 times, nothing we have to worry about, right?
If you are able to show that what we can say exceptional flows, you can show. Okay. Otherwise, you can no need to show that because that we will display with using screen mounts.
Okay.
Okay. No need to worry about it. Let's say if you have multiple alternative flows or exceptional flows, no need to display everything there in the activity diagram. Okay. Possible basic flows are very important to display, and possible alternative flows are also try to display, but no need to display all the exceptional flows, everything, because that is not possible to display in a single activity diagram, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Just try the complete basic flow, and the second one alternative flows as well. Okay, basic alternative flows. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Basic alternative float means what you exactly mean with it, sir?
Like at least 1 or 2 alternative flows. Basic in the sense 1 or 2 alternative flows. Let's say you have 5 or 6 alternative flows. 5 or 6 alternative flows. Anyways, you may not display here, right or not?
Yeah.
At least 1 or 2 alternative flows. Like let's say in here this is basic flow. This is alternative flow. Let's say here I have 3 different alternative flows. 3 I may not display here, right or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So at least 1 or 2 alternative flows try to depict here and draw the diagram. That is what my point.
Even we can show in the screen mockups.
Yeah, in the screen mockups, or we can write a activity specification in FRD. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No need to bother about it. Okay. Clear on this
Sure,
now?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Can you draw the activities? First of all, to draw activities, you need to have a complete use case specification. Then only you are able to write activities. You understood now, right? This how I draw, because based on the use case spec only I can draw this activity diagram, right or not?
Yeah. We will know how the interconnection is, communication is
Exactly.
going on.
How the flows are getting and how the alternative flows are getting, how the basic flows are running. All these things you'll come to know once you are done with the
User specification.
use case specifications. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. This anyways for your reference, I'll save it and I'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Okay. And start working on the rest of the use case specifications first.